This video is a review and summary of my trip by train from Tokyo Station to Narita Airport Terminal 1, and I'm gonna tell you about my experience. So the actual length of the time from Tokyo Station to Narita Airport Terminal 1, I actually timed it and it took about 1 hour 41 minutes. And I could have actually taken a bus and had that take less time, but I wanted to experience actually taking a train in Japan, and I thought it was a cool experience. And this was actually my ticket. I'll zoom in a bit. Hopefully that can focus. Yep. So anyway, it's from Tokyo Station to Narita Airport Terminal 1. And yeah, it was a good experience. Actually, like a lot of things I experienced in the last I guess I'd say last 14 hours. Yeah, it was really interesting. So one thing to note was that they actually make announcements, basically, at least in the station, I don't remember if on the train, that basically don't bother other people, so try to be quiet. And that's I did find that to be really interesting. Some people were actually sleeping on the train, so it was quiet enough to be able to sleep on the train. Another interesting thing was that, yeah, so it was quite quiet and I couldn't hear anyone talking on their phone. I did hear some teenage girls chatting a little bit, but that was okay. And another thing I found really interesting was that they would actually make announcements right before they would change tracks. So sort of a convenience announcement, so that if you were standing, they basically said, oh, if you're standing, grab onto one of the bars. So anyway, so it's you have a heads up when they're going to change tracks. Yeah, and most of the announcements were in Japanese and English. Everything was in Japanese, but usually they would follow with an English announcement. I didn't hear any Mandarin or Korean on the train, though I did hear some Mandarin and Korean in the station, but on the train I was on specifically, I didn't hear any, so it was just Japanese and English. And yeah, but a lot of the signs in the station itself are in 4 languages: English, Japanese, Mandarin, and Korean. And interestingly, yeah, so I think I saw a lot of students on the train. And one way to tell students is by their uniforms. I'm not certain, but it may be the case that all Japanese students have to wear uniforms. Talking about secondary and primary school students. Yeah, and it was a good experience actually. It would have been faster for me to take a bus and would have been cheaper actually, but it was definitely worth the experience. Yeah, and this music, this cute music, this is actually announcing, is basically the final call for people to get on the train, and I thought that was pretty interesting. So every station, they would play that sort of cute music, and it's anyway, sort of telling people to get on the train as soon as possible. And anyway, to go back to this ticket, so I paid 1,320 yen It's right next to my finger there. And it would have been cheaper for me to take a bus. Last night I took a bus. It was only 1,000 yen. But anyway, I wanted to experience a Japanese train, and it was really quite interesting. And the reason I even was in Tokyo is because I have a layover. Anyway, 14 to 15 hours, and I didn't want to just stay in the airport the whole time. So I decided to go visit Tokyo, and that was, I think it was a good decision. I really enjoyed it. And anyway, the train trip was good, and although one thing to mention was that I think I bought the ticket probably 10 to 15 minutes beforehand, and maybe I should have bought it a bit earlier, because it was a little bit hard to find exactly where I needed to go. But thankfully a lot of staff were really helpful, and I could ask like exactly where I need to go and so on. Okay, so one thing I want to show you some things in this station. Again, I'm in Narita Airport Terminal 1, this station from the train. So yeah, so here's some mentioned. A lot of the signs are in 4 languages. So Mandarin, English, Korean, and Japanese. And interestingly, a lot of the stations have this sort of waiting area. Yeah, waiting room. Show this to you here. Yeah, so there's nobody in here now, but yeah, from time to time there may be people. And yeah, of course you've got these chairs you can sit on. And Japan is very famous for vending machines. You can find vending machines all over. And here are some vending machines for just drinks. So I've heard you can find vending machines for almost everything, or certainly quite a lot of things. But and of course this is in Japanese yen, 160 yen. It's not too much. And so definitely I enjoyed the train experience. I actually took a slow train. I didn't take the fast train. The fast train would have been slightly faster. Well, probably about 30 minutes faster, maybe 40 minutes. But it would have been double to triple price, which I wasn't really willing to pay for. I just wanted to have a train experience and not pay so much. So okay, and as a recap, I took a train from Tokyo Station, and I ended up here in Narita Airport Terminal 1. There's actually 3 terminals, Terminal 1, 2, and 3. Terminal 1 was the last station, and I definitely enjoyed the experience of taking a Japanese train. Oh yeah, and finally I'll show you a bit of the tracks. I won't go past the yellow line because I might get mad. Okay, so finally, appreciate it if you give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel, and finally, if you want to leave a comment or share this video, please feel free to do so. Thank you.